Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone, as you filter in. Hey, JJ.
Hi, JJ. JJ, do
Morning,
you hear an
morning.
echo? Please let us
Oh,
know if you
no.
hear an echo. No, I don't
Do
hear it,
you?
but I just want to. No, I don't hear one, but I want to make sure they don't hear one.
Okay. It's been good lately with the echo, because remember it would do that to me like every time we'd have to go out and come back in?
Yep, yep.
There's always still a little delay, but I don't think there's anywhere around that.
Yeah, no. Mm-mm. And we're
All
getting
right.
more used to it to, not talk over each other. We're giving each other a few like seconds after we talk.
Yeah, you got to give like a grace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cindy,
Okay.
how's your diamond art coming along?
Ooh, my girl. I am addicted. Yes, it's
I
an
knew it.
obsession. I sealed, I was waiting for the seal, and a lot of women asked me, like money swipers. So I have to put a community tab with the links. I did give her the link to the seal. It's so important that after you finish the diamond art, that you seal it. So that when
Oh,
you
I'm
frame
sure.
them or you hang them up, yeah, none of them fall out eventually. So, the seal that I got, I was a little worried because it bubbled, but I after it dried, the bubbles disappeared. So it's really great. I'm started on my second one. The light is a game changer. That
Yeah,
light
that's what I
board,
saw people saying in the comments.
oh my God, the light board is a game changer because at night, my eyes are bad. And at night with the light board, oh my God, it just makes such a difference in the placement so that you're placing them. And Sophie, the link she gave me to that carrying case, it comes with literally everything. And the one that I got had double the stuff that she had gotten, like two tweezers, like added stuff. It's really it's amazing. So the whole case was like $30, and it comes with 70 jars, which also makes it so much easier because they come in the little packets, and I was taping the packets closed, and then I
Oh,
had to
wow.
take the tape off. Yeah. So once I got the jars, I put the beads in. I just, oh, I love it. I love it, Bliss. It's so relaxing, so much fun. And having the organizers just makes it that much more fun. You know what I mean? Because I don't have to worry about the beads being everywhere, organized. So I'm really enjoying it. Right before we went live, I was sitting here doing it. I had to tear myself away. I was like, oh crap, it's like 2 minutes before we're supposed to go live. So that's it. But I'm
I just
enjoying
knew
it.
it. I knew you were going to love it like the way you love it. I knew
I
it.
do. I love it because I love Legos, but again, I still have two sets that JJ sent me, and I haven't assembled them because I have nowhere to put them. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so Diamond Art, I can do it, and all the horror theme, that just made my whole life. So my sons love it, and they want me to frame them on the wall because we have this big wall, and we didn't know what to put there. And they love it as much as me, and so they're allowing me to frame it and put it on the wall. I'm gonna do a whole collage. So I'm excited, and I enjoy it. I'm having a lot of fun doing it in my spare time.
Well, that makes my heart happy. Good morning, Stanley Cup.
Hi,
Hey,
Barbie.
Barbie.
Yes, I have a light board. Um, I
Oh, yeah.
promise after this live, I'll put the links to everything because the light board I got is really great. You can charge it, but it's wireless, so you don't have to have it plugged into a wall. You put it like for 2 hours to charge, and you can use it wireless, or you can, of course, have it plugged into the wall or your laptop or a portable charger, and it's amazing. It's big. It's a big light board, and it's great. It has three different color settings, just like ring lights. It has the different settings, the ambient light, and all of that. So I'll put the links to the carrying case, the seal. The seal is amazing, and the art that I got. A few people want the art, the horror themed, and the light board. So I'll put that all on a community post with all the links for you guys if you're interested.
Good deal. I think
Yeah.
I gave this suggestion to Sophie. Um, you should do like a time lapse, like recording
Yeah.
yourself doing it. You know how they have the camera like pointing at what you're doing, so all we probably see
Hmm.
is your hands, and do
I'm
like a
gonna do
short
that.
where it's like a time lapse.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that for the next one. So, Mask Guy Johnny, he, the one that I ordered with all this stuff, and I paid $80 for the light, for the carrying case, for the seal, and an extra painting, and it was all only $80, which is amazing. And so he likes it, and he was like, "Oh, I'll pay somebody to do it." I said, "No, I'll do it for you and send you one." So the one that I just got, I'm gonna buy an extra one, and I'm gonna do it for him. I'm gonna seal it for him, and I'm gonna send it to him in Canada as a gift.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
it
cool.
makes me
You could
happy.
do them. I mean, do people buy these?
He
Like, can
wanted to
people
buy it. I
sell
said,
them?
"I'm not gonna have you buy it. I will gift him one." So I'm gonna do one for him, and I'm gonna gift it to him. hmm And send it to him.
Gotcha. I just see people paying for that, though. I don't know, something to think about.
Because you do it yourself, and it's, you frame it, you seal it, so it's, you know what I mean, because I'm not just going to do the diamond art. I'm going to make sure it's sealed and put in a nice frame, and that those are great gifts because you've done it yourself, you know
Oh,
what I mean.
definitely.
So
And it's not like it's not cheap by any means either.
and
And even
no,
the frames, they're expensive.
oh my God, the frames are like $25 each. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
dang. But it
Sometimes
is
if
what it
you
is.
actually go to the store, I'm trying to think of the store. I know Hobby Lobby had a part in the back. I'm trying to
Home
think of
Goods
another
too, right?
store. Like they
Home
have like
Depot
a
is too
clearance
expensive.
section in the back of like frames.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go to one of those and see if I can find it cheaper than I can on Amazon, because my eldest son said that, "Mom, let's go into stores. You can probably, you go in with the dimensions of the paintings, and you could
Hmm.
probably find them cheaper." Barbie the seal is a game changer. I'm telling you, it seals the beads and it gives it added shine. It just,
Yeah,
oh my
like a
God.
gloss.
I'm gonna take a picture of the picture after I sealed it, and I'll put it on my community tab. It just gives it, yes, it's high gloss, and they're sealed. They're not moving anywhere. And the seal only cost me $9.99 on Amazon. It was only $10 for 200 ml. So it was a great
Wow.
price, and it works really well, guys. I'm telling you, I tested it because I wanted to see if it was a good one, and I'm gonna stick with that seal because I really like it and it looks beautiful. And it comes with a little brush, the little rubber spatula thing. So it's really great. Hi, Steven.
I was about to say that actually. Go to
Mhm.
even if you go to like Goodwill,
Mhm.
like you can get like a picture. They're always super cheap and just take the picture out and use the frame.
That's true. And I want a little border on the inside. I want it to look really, really nice. And I want all the frames to match because I'm going to do a whole collage on this giant ass wall of all different types of horror. I found so many that I put in my cart, and I got some for each of my sons. Their aesthetic. I'm gonna make one and frame it, and they can each put it in their bedrooms. So, yeah,
Nice. Hey, all of y'all should start like your own diamond art club.
right. No, but you can use them for people that do jigsaw puzzles. You can also use that seal to
Oh
seal it
yeah,
because
my
people
sister
do
used to do
frames.
that.
Yeah,
She was
people do
big, like
frames.
super big into puzzles, and I'm talking like crazy. Like I don't even think I've ever done 100-piece puzzle. I hate puzzles. And she
hmm
would do like the 3D ones. She built like a
Yes,
skyscraper once.
yes. Yeah, you
But
use
yeah,
that
she would
seal
do
on
that with
that
the
too.
flat one. She would seal it and frame it.
Uh-huh. And do you know that they have diamond art that you can personalize? So you could send them a picture, and
Oh, that's
you'll
funny you said
yes.
that. I'm glad
hmm
they did that. I just saw something. I was scrolling Facebook Reels, and you got to get it like an ad every couple reels. But my
Yes.
ads are like personalized to me, so I typically like them if I'm being honest. This one was
hmm
so cool. The company, like your kid does like a drawing, and the
hmm
company will make it into a stuffed animal.
Oh my God, that is so cool. That is
I'm gonna
so
do
cool.
it.
Hi, Roddy, Mom. You should do
Hey,
it. You
Roddy.
should do it. But I saw the diamond art, so then they have like ones for personalized sports. Like, my friend, he likes San Francisco 49ers. And so you could get his name, his favorite number, and diamond art. So they send it to you and you do the diamond art and it's personalized. So that's his thing. And for my sons, to get pictures done of us, or you know what I mean, like family photos, and do them in diamond art and frame them.
Oh my
Sorry, excuse me.
God.
Hmm.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah. Hmm. And it's again, it's a gift
Wow.
that you give that you've made yourself, and it's personalized because it's of you or your family or whoever. You know, like a picture of my mom, may she rest in peace, or my sister. I could get diamond art done, and yeah. Hi, Rabbit of Chaos, and my Steven, and of course,
Hey,
Roddy.
Robbie.
Hi, everybody.
Thank you guys for coming. We're just chit chatting about diamond art because
Yeah,
I knew it was going to be Cindy's new favorite thing. She just
it
started
is.
doing it, and even before she got it, I just knew it was going to be a hit.
It
Makes me
is my
happy.
favorite thing ever. It makes me so happy. I got, again, I'm on my second. I have two more undone, and I'm already wanting to order more because I don't even want to be left without any diamond art for even a second. So I have to like slow my roll. But yeah, I'm enjoying it a lot. I really am. All my free time, that's all I want to do. So.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
I'd love to be able to have a hobby like that, but it can't be diamond art. Like, I gotta
No.
think of something else.
But I've always had like a creative side, like doing nail art, doing
Yeah, yeah.
nails. And I'm not saying I'm an artist. I'm not. I just like to be artistic. Makeup is, artistic expression, doing nails. So that's all artistic. You don't have to be an artist to have um artistic creativity. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
enjoy it. And it
Everyone's
relaxes.
different, like artistically. Like, I like doing thumbnails and
You're
making
great at
shorts,
it.
and I feel like that's artistic in itself.
Yeah, so if you guys didn't know her thumbnail for this live, I was like blown away. It is so cool. I suck at thumbnails. I do the basics, but I'm learning. I'm technologically challenged. I'm trying, but you're great at it. I love that thumbnail. I really did. As soon as I saw it, I was like, wow, that's really, really cool.
Thank you. I've tried to improve over time. Like, if you go back to the beginning of my lives,
Hmm.
big difference is all I'm saying. And I'm not saying I'm the best. And I can't claim all of this one because this was the first time I used a little bit of AI.
Yeah,
And I'm glad. I can't believe you didn't know that about
I
Canva. You
didn't.
guys, I was sharing with Cindy this morning. If you have Canva, you can type in like a couple keywords because my shit always starts with an idea in my head. So it's
Hmm.
just the task of bringing it from my head to like the screen. So you can type
Yes,
in like a couple keywords and it'll make you images.
that is
So that's
amazing.
kind
I
of how
had
I
no idea.
started and ended up with what it is now.
And I pay for Canva, and I didn't even know that. So I think that's
Hmm.
really
And I
cool.
don't even pay for Canva.
Hmm. I know. I thought you had the paid version to do that because that was really cool what you did.
Yeah, no, they give you like 15 free idea images a week, I think.
Mm.
Yeah, and then the Gemini, if you guys have an Android, I'm sure iPhone has something too. There's the new Gemini app, and it also has like an AI feature. I mean, there's even one on there, Cindy, where it can like write a whole script for you if you put in like keywords.
Really?
Yeah, isn't
Yeah,
that wild?
that is wild. AI is
Yeah.
taking over the world, girl. It's taking over the
Yeah.
world, girl.
Me and BX were talking. He did a video about like how AI is taking over music. And
Oh,
that's a super
yes.
interesting little rabbit hole there, if
And
anyone wants to go down it.
no, so there's Lady Red, right, with What the F Radio, and she writes original songs and has AI perform them. And girl, like what? They're like professional. And
Oh,
her
yeah.
writing skills, the AI brings it to life in such a way that is astonishing to me, astonishing. Like, and it's personalized. Like she'll say Lisa Richards' name and things that are personal to her situation and her life, and the songs are amazing songs, and it's all done by AI. She puts in whatever words she wants, names, the personal stuff, and they compose a whole freaking song. Girl, I was blown away. I'm like, oh shit, they're about to put artists out of business. Shit.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, it definitely has pros. I mean, it is kind of like incredibly amazing, but think how much cheaper this would be
Yep.
for like record labels than actually hiring artists. And I think it takes something like personal that like supporters and fans can kind of connect to away,
Hmm.
you
Hmm.
know?
It
So I
does.
just
It
like what
does.
you have to think of like everything, pros, cons, all that stuff. And yeah, I'll find his link for that and I'll drop it in the description. It was a really good watch. I'll share it on my community tab,
And I agree,
actually.
Bliss. There's pros and cons, right? The pros are that
And hey,
anybody can
Chronic.
feel. Hi, my chronic space. Anyone can feel like an artist and make songs maybe that didn't have a good singing voice. But the cons are that people that have spent years, working on their voices, getting voice coaching, and being musically inclined. You know what I mean? Like their art will suffer now because
Perfecting
anybody
their
can
art.
use.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying. Yeah.
yes. Because now you can just use AI, and these artists. That makes me sad for them. I mean, I know that there's a place for everything, but these live shows, I think there'll always be a place for live shows and live concerts, and I hope that that is the reality because these things shouldn't be lost to AI. You know what I mean? The whole
Yeah.
experience of going to a concert and seeing them perform live and all of these things. So I think in a way that saves people, but it still messes with their money and all this other stuff. So yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole. You're right. You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I never really thought about it till I listened to his video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one thing, like you said, the lady is a good writer. You know, she's just
Yes.
not musically inclined to get AI to
Yes.
sing it, but like people are putting in like five key words and it's writing an entire song.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
seems lazy. It seems lazy to me, if I'm being
It
honest.
does. And it seems exploitative of the artists, that do it all. They work on the beats, they work on the chorus, they work on the words, everything. And now there's just this shortcut. And so again, I don't know, you know.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Jen and Barrett. Who's
Hey, Gin and
Mustard?
Bear, my sweet positive friend. Who's Mustard? I'm sorry, I was away from my phone.
I don't know. JJ says poor Mustard is going to lose his job of making beats. I don't know who Mustard is.
Yeah, I don't know. Colonel Mustard in the ballroom. I don't know who the hell that is.
With the revolver?
Yes, exactly. Or the candlestick. I have no idea. What the
Oh,
hell, JJ?
you'll have to let us know, girl. All right,
Yes.
so we are going to finish up the video that we've been trying to finish up for the last. This will be the third live.
Yes.
Just a couple more timestamps, and they're all they're short. So
Okay.
after that, I thought we'd move on to another video. Um,
Mhm.
and not a big, like, huge channel, but I don't even know how I came across this video. I shared it on my community tab uh like a month or so ago, and I'm just so happy that I came across it. And I left her a nice comment, and like she left me a really nice reply. It was just like a good interaction, and I'm glad I found this girl. And I, of
Mhm.
course, I'm gonna link her, so I hope you guys will go sub to her. Super down to earth, and she
Yes.
talks basically about how to deal with the haters in a nutshell.
Mhm. Yeah.
So,
Oh, and
but again,
before we start,
go ahead.
congratulations to Sophie. She just got over 4K subscribers. I think that is amazing, and I'm so
Oh,
happy
Sophie,
for her.
wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it happened overnight because we were DMing, and she's like, "Girl, I'm 25 away from 3,900." And then I swear to God, it was like the next day she was over 4K. I'm like, "That's what I'm talking about, girl. That's what
Wow,
I'm
that's
talking about."
amazing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, JJ says Mustard makes beats. Oh, for a lot of rappers, he made the beat for Not Like Us and performed with Kendrick at the Super Bowl. Okay.
Oh man, that song's
I was
crazy.
wondering who he was when I was watching that. I had no idea, neither did my husband.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you, JJ.
Really, Steven? See, that's one
No,
thing I
she got a.
always was okay to
Sorry.
splurge on, was a nice purse.
Yeah, she said someone gifted her a Louis bag for beating cancer, and I think that's a beautiful thing. That's a great
Oh my
gift.
gosh, that
And the
is.
significance of it, I would use that purse all the time. And
Yeah.
yeah, I have a Louis purse that I was gifted too, but I have to fix the handles. I need to take it into the store, but I'm like so afraid how much they're gonna charge me. The handles are like a little frayed, but it's a fucking Louis Vuitton. So
Yeah, it'll probably be a lot because I'm pretty sure that's all hand stitched, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So I need to, my son keeps telling me to give it to him, and he'll take it from me. But so yeah, that just reminded me. But that's a beautiful thing, Stephen.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've always loved purses. I used to go, remember back in the day, the purse parties?
Of course.
Did you ever go? I went to like anytime I saw one, I was there. So I had a lot of like, not a lot, a few
I had a
purses
lot.
for like super cheap. And I've always, I'm all about the thrift. But
Me
the one
too.
thing I always wanted was a Coach bag.
Mhm.
And when I was pregnant with my son, so we're talking over 10 years ago, the Hubs bought me like a really nice like diaper Coach bag.
Aw.
And
Yeah.
it was beautiful and I loved it. And then after having my son, quickly realized that was probably not a good idea and I would never suggest getting a Coach bag as a diaper.
As a diaper bag, seriously. He'll just
Yeah.
spill milk in there, all kinds of stuff, wipes spill in there. Yeah, you're right. I have a Coach bag my son got me, but I used to have really, oh my God, amazing. I had a designer, I can't remember the designer. Alex knows all about that. And it was a piano purse, and it actually played music. Like
Oh
you
my
could press
God.
the keys. Yeah, and it was a designer bag. Yeah. I lost it when I left Brooklyn. I had a lot of designer bags, but now I don't have them, but I don't really go anywhere, so I don't really need them.
And I'm with you there. I also have Rabbit, I have like a purse backpack. It's a Jessica Simpson. I love her
Hmm.
bags. And
Oh,
hey
I love
Courtney.
backpacks. I love backpacks more. I just saw one, a leather one, and I'm excited. I want to get it. It's leather, it's beautiful, and it's a backpack, and it's really, really nice. You can use
Yeah,
it
that's what mine is, but
portable.
it's like a blush pink. And then it
Uh-huh.
has like gold like accents to it. It's really
Yeah.
pretty.
And hi, Courtney. Sorry, I wanted to say hi to beautiful girl.
Yeah, welcome. Yeah, I love if I could get the Louis bucket backpack
Mm-hmm.
purse thingy, that would be my dream. I saw it at Macy's like a month
Mm-hmm.
ago.
Yeah, Jay wants to get me a MCM
Not
bag, a little
happening.
bag. He saw a beautiful pink one he's been wanting to get me, and I'm like, don't buy that. Don't buy that for me. Because he has an MCM bag. He had another one, and a friend came and stole it. Like, pretended that he sent him to borrow it, and he had stole it. So he was mad at me for a long time. You let him take it out of your. He told me you sent him. Oh my God, that was terrible. But he got
Oh
a new
wow.
one. Yeah, stole his bag. Came in and told me. He told me to come in and borrow it. No, he didn't. Some
Oh
bullshit.
shit.
He was
That's
mad at me
wild.
for like a month. He was mad at me for like a month. I felt so bad. But yeah,
And yes, I did say thrift, not grift. But
no
just to
thrift.
throw a grift, there is a little ticker. Donate to my Louis bag fund
Right.
because that shit was like $800.
Yes, Lord of mercy.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah,
Oh,
hi
look, it's a great
traders.
time for my honey to come in.
Segway.
Honey,
She needs a new purse,
remember
honey.
that?
She needs a
Remember
new
that
purse,
Louis
honey.
bag I was looking at Macy's when we went last month?
Hint,
Remember
hint,
the
hint.
the bucket backpack one?
That is hilarious.
Have a good day, honey. Love you. Look. I love him.
Jeremiah. $800, girl. You better dream about it.
Yeah, that's even going too far for me. But he knows me. Like I'll find it like used in great
Yes,
condition for much
yes.
cheaper.
In a thrift store, yeah, you can.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Even Ross has them sometimes. I know you don't have a Ross by you, do
There's
you?
no damn Ross. There's no. The only Ross I know is from Friends. I have never seen a Ross a day in my life. Swear to
Well,
God, I feel
from
like left
friends.
out.
Girl, if you ever come to Baltimore, we're going to Ross.
Hmm. Yes, and hopefully JJ will be coming. I saw the damn notification. I didn't see the damn message. Coming to Jersey soon. I can't wait.
Mhm. Yep, she's gotta let me know a day,
Yeah.
like dates, because
Mhm.
I'll try to make it work and come up for a day. We can go to lunch, shit, just chill in the hotel
Oh,
room,
that
like
would be so
whatever, you
fun.
know?
Yeah, that would be so fun. Mother's Day is coming. That's true.
Yeah, Roddy, I get like homemade stuff. I don't think the $800 Louis purse
Right?
in the
Yes.
cards.
Exactly.
And yeah, Poshmark, that's where I look at purses at a lot. I
Mhm.
always scroll and look. I haven't, I think I don't, oh, that's where I got, no, I got this one, Macy's Backstage. I have gotten a purse off of there though.
Oh, I love Macy's Backstage, girl.
It's the best.
Just like
Oh,
Nordstrom Rack. Oof.
it does kind of taste like dirt, Steven. I used to use turmeric as like it's actually very good for you. You know, Cindy, I was telling you about like herbs and stuff. And
I
I
take the
forgot.
pills.
I actually found something that I think would be good for you. But
Okay.
turmeric acts as like a potentiator for kratom. So I
Yeah.
used to take like a teaspoon of it daily, and it has like other great, you know, things for your body and mind and whatever. So, but it does
I
taste
got a
like dirt.
bunch of the capsules, the turmeric capsules, and I take one every day. I found the capsules, but I need to get the ashwagandha. That's what I forgot to order from
Yes.
Amazon. The
Hmm.
ashwagandha. Yeah.
Well,
And Courtney,
that's
there's
why I
nothing
was
wrong
doing
with it.
research for you. Actually, me and Dina,
Mhm.
we were talking about it.
Mhm.
And I
Mhm.
started doing research to find like the best place to buy font from, as far as it
Yeah.
being like, you know, straight, you know,
Mhm.
saying what it is and like money. So I have a couple options. And even Amazon sells it.
Yeah, I saw it on Amazon, and they had 130 pills, which I thought was great for like maybe $30 or less than that, maybe $20. So I think I'm gonna order it.
Yeah, and that is another good one, Roddy. All
Macari,
right, so
yeah.
let's again, I just have timestamps. I didn't write down notes
Okay.
for any of these, so I
Mhm.
mean, y'all know me and my memory. It's going to be like a first reaction again.
Mhm. And it's a first
And this
reaction for
is
me.
Cindy's first,
Yes.
like, genuine first reaction.
Mhm.
All right, just make sure y'all can hear it.
Okay.
Then just leave them alone. Yeah. Why are you going to try to tear someone down
Yes, I can hear it.
and create division and expect people to take sides and all this kind of stuff? Like, what are you doing? So you're not
Damn it.
here for the reason I'm
Hold
here.
on.
You know, in my opinion. So the stuff that
Quality. Hold on. It may have auto defaulted back up.
Yeah, because it was like
No,
buffering and
damn.
stuff.
All right. Yeah, I think it's just got to play a second.
Okay.
Let's see.
stuff that happens in the community is more ick to me than anything inherent in you know, Scientology or what we're here to discuss or what we're here to expose and anything like that. And honestly, because I guess it feels I take it so much more personally. I don't care what Scientology says about us. Who cares?
Yeah.
It's so stupid, you know. But when you have someone, and I'm referring to one person specifically, who because their feelings got hurt, then spends every day for the next 6 months trying to destroy that person within our community. I'm sorry. That's worse than anything Scientology's done, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I think that the majority of the audience, you know, because we have not exactly the same audience, but there's some good overlap there, understands that. Because so much of what I see and what I hear and the feedback I get, the majority of it is they're just here to support former Scientologists, to be entertained, to learn more about it. Sometimes it makes them think, and also as a way of creating community. You know, I've been doing weekly members only lives, and I love it because I get to really just talk to them. Whereas when I'm doing a recap, I'm just really kind of presenting information and interacting some with the chat, and you see relationships that grow, and there's a beauty to that. It can also, you know, it can go south, but that's just because we're human. That's human nature. But I definitely have the feel that the vast majority are on the same page with us about this. They want to learn, they want to be entertained, they want to be part of a community and support each other. And I see it happening all
Yeah.
the time in the chat. And I think that is so invaluable, and what makes me love having a live chat and live streaming.
Yeah.
Because the majority of YouTube is not live streaming, it's just doing pre-recorded videos.
Right.
Which is
Exactly.
great.
What do you think, Cindy?
I agree because I'm a live streamer. I'm not a person that records videos, right? sorry, excuse me, my channel is primarily live streams. I started incorporating more recorded videos because sometimes it's easier, but the premise of my channel is live streaming, and you get to know people more that way. Like if your channel's just solely recording videos, you can talk to people in comment sections, but when you live stream and people come into your chat in real time and you build relationships with them over time, it's different for me, to me. And I understand, like she's saying, things can go south because we're human beings and our point of views will change. Um, that's natural to happen. And I think that it's important to understand that people should be able to disagree respectfully. Some people don't have that ability. They feel that if you say something they disagree with, now you're just the worst person ever. And they tend to forget that we're human beings. Again, we're going to have differences of opinion, and it always matters to me how it's brought to me. I will always respect somebody's opinion if they're not coming to me, calling me out my name initially from the door. How I take your message is going to be very different if you're coming at me, calling me all kinds of bitches, saying that I'm a piece of crap and you don't agree with me. Where if you're like, hey, can you elaborate on what you meant, or something like that? You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
definitely agree. And there's a lot of that where people expect you, if they don't agree with something you said, now you become the enemy, and it immediately becomes about sides instead of just a difference of opinion. Stuff gets blown out of proportion when there could have been conversations had, and even if it's
Wix
miscommunications.
gives you the freedom
Sorry,
to
girl.
tell your story.
Okay.
Hold on. Add. Even when you
Yeah.
just move the timestamp, an ad will just automatically play. What the hell?
Yes, it happens. It happens, girl.
To be that person. It's
Okay. I'm sorry that interrupted you. But,
No,
and I
it's okay.
agree. Everything you said that she said, I agree with. And also, I like what he said um, about how the relentless badgering that people do to others when they disagree with them for like months, sometimes years on end, is sometimes worse than the initial like basis of the criticism,
Exactly.
you know?
Exactly. And Courtney, thank you. And I enjoy chatting with you, and you guys, the people that come into our chats make our channels. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And I'm a subscriber, I'm a viewer, I'm a follower as well. I just come and I live stream. You know what I mean? So you guys interacting with me is the most important part of my channel, and I'll never lose that or forget that. Without you guys, I'll just be talking to myself. So.
I agree. I mean, just scrolling through this chat, there's so many amazing people in this chat right now. Like, I couldn't ask for better people here.
Me either.
All right, here's the next one.
Okie dokie.
it's like get on with fucking I'm sorry. Get on. Sorry. Apologies for the F word, y'all. Apologies. Earmuffs. So apologies. If you want to make yourself the moral arbiter of this space, be prepared for what comes with that, because you're not going to like it.
I think too that you take this former Sea Org, former Scientology point of view, because the Sea Org exists to put ethics in on the planet. We were told we were the most ethical beings on the planet, and that our big responsibility was to put ethics in on the planet. And you can kind of get stuck in that. Then you combine that with maybe some other people who see it more as, again, I keep going back to this mission analogy. Like it's this big mission, and whereas it is and it isn't. There are people who identify more as maybe say activists and advocates or protesters, however you want to do it. But there's also space in this community for having fun with it, educating about it. It takes all kinds. It takes everybody. But I think sometimes maybe because I've seen some who come from a little bit more of an activist background, well, these things we need to do. And there's been some beautiful, amazing things done by some people who are like, okay, I'm going to, like what Outta LA is doing, and even what Fat Grammy has done. It's like, that is fantastic. Like that's what they're doing. They took this piece and are like, we're going to do this. And I don't see either of those two people saying, and the rest of you are doing it wrong.
I know, but what you have seen
Hey, Sue.
Oh my God, can I speak on this real quick? I
I would
that
love it.
happens
Yes.
that happens to me all the time. I have never come on my channel and said I'm an advocate. People put those labels on me. You know what I mean? They put those labels on me all the time. They think that I am the addiction and recovery police. I'm supposed to see it all, know it all, address it all. And I even have people recently, I saw people were questioning if I've ever worked in harm reduction or substance abuse and HIV. And yes, I have. I've also never said I was a licensed drug counselor, HIV counselor. I am a
Yep.
certified.
You always made that distinction from the jump.
Yes, yes. I've never said license. License does take further schooling. I am certified and I've never lied or embellished that. I am very proud of my certifications. I worked very hard for those. And so people always trying to diminish that when I've never said I was licensed ever, okay? I could go get my KSAC, which is a higher level of certifications, and I could do that without college, but I haven't done it yet. But I am certified, okay? I graduated top of my class, but because I'm in recovery, because I've worked with recovering addicts, people with HIV, I've worked in harm reduction, outreach, a nonprofit does not mean that I am a spokesman for addicts or recovering addicts. I am a person in recovery, so I can speak from it personally and professionally. I have definitely worked in that field. I've put in the work. I've put in the volunteer hours. I've put in the physical work, and it's ridiculous. People put these labels on me and then want to hold me accountable for the labels they've placed on me. Never something that has come out of my mouth. I've never come here and said, I am the moral authority on what recovery should look like. Recovery is different for each and every person. What somebody's addiction should have consisted of, shouldn't have consisted of, behaviors that people, no, none of that. But I know that there is a guideline for what works in recovery, and being dishonest is not one of those things that works in recovery. Not being accountable is another thing that doesn't work. Having no self-awareness is another thing. These are fundamental guidelines for recovery. So when I speak about it, I'm speaking about it from that point of view, not as a moral authority. So please stop putting your labels on me. And then when I don't meet the expectations of the labels you've placed on me, somehow I fall short of your expectations. Yeah. Yeah, because they're your expectations, and it's frustrating, it's sickening, it's tiring, and it's untrue, and people push these lies and then other people start pushing it as fact, and that is frustrating and annoying, but it is what it is. Again, we can't control that. So thank you for letting me say that, because that was frustrating.
It is frustrating, especially because you've been so transparent from the jump. Nothing has ever changed. You've never like did like this switch up. You've always said everything you just said. And also, Cindy, you don't owe anyone a fucking thing.
I know.
You don't
I
have
know.
to show shit. I mean, I know you always talk about showing your toxicology back in the day because you were getting so frustrated. No, and knowing you're sitting on that, like I totally see why you did it, but I wish you never would have because you didn't
I
know
wish
any
I
of
would
that.
I wish I wouldn't have done it either, but since I was so new on my channel, and my channel is built on my word. People saying that I'm not clean, that because my husband was using, I must have been using. I needed to put it out there one time so that,
Yep, I
again, people,
understand.
you know what I mean? That way, that's it. It's solidified. Look, I showed you several months, not just 1 month. I showed several months in a row. I could show years. I could show years. Like, you know how much paper that would take? Excuse me, for me to show years, and I still give random urine tests for, because that's what works for my recovery. You know what I mean? But I know, but I just want people that are my friends, my supporters, that do come to my channel and genuinely support me to know I'm not a liar. I'm human. I'm flawed, but I'm not a liar. You know, I wouldn't say things that, I know the internet is forever. You know what I mean? So I don't lie. Again, that's one of the things in my recovery that I take very seriously. Not being a liar is very important. So,
Yeah,
and
and
hi to
I like
Elliot.
what Steven said. She said people in addiction generally don't want to hear it from those who haven't experienced it. Having the experience means that you can reach people that others cannot. I mean, that's not even an opinion, girl. That is fact.
That's
In
the
my
truth.
opinion, it's fact. I mean, and I agree with Cindy. I have never claimed to be an advocate. I mean, the closest thing you could say I've advocated for is Kratom, and I don't even consider myself a Kratom advocate. I mean, I kind of skirt the community because Kratom does have like a really big, awesome, like supportive community. But
Right.
mainly, I just speak from my own experience, and we're
That's
allowed to do that.
and we're allowed to do that. And Jen and Barry, you're right. I'm the disclaimer queen. I gotta stop because that it gets me
We're
frustrating
working
all the
on it,
time.
Jen and Barrett. I've been
Yeah,
working on it for a while.
yes, yes. I'm working on it. I'm conscious of it, like trying not to put out the disclaimers. But and Stephen, you're right because when I worked in substance counseling, a lot of people would shun people that just had book smarts and had never had any lived experience. And I tried to cut down the stigmas with that too, with clients. Like, give them a chance. Give them
Yeah.
a chance. How can they have lived experience if you won't even afford them the opportunity to get to know you? You know what I mean? They had a lot to contribute to. And then in having colleagues that have been on both sides of it, they learned a lot more. Just like JJ. JJ had never had any personal um experience with addiction herself, right? So she was ignorant to a lot of things. And then having friends, best friends that have had addiction past, she learned so much and became so open minded with so much stuff that before she was closed minded to. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, it's about educating yourself, and JJ learned all most of that from you. So it just shows how much your personal experience that you've spoken on the entire time you've been on YouTube
Yep.
has affected JJ in a positive way, in my opinion.
And that means a lot to me. And there's so many
It
people too
does,
that
it's
have reached out.
validating.
Yeah, there's people that have reached out to me and shared their personal stories that I would never disclose on the internet. And it meant something. They entrusted me to come to me and vent to me and share with me and ask me questions. And I'll never take that for granted. And for all the mistakes I've made online and for all the people that say that I'm just the worst person ever, those are the people I think about and that keep me on YouTube. The
Yeah,
good outweighs the bad, you know?
it does. In the end, the good outweighs the bad. Hey,
And
Michelle.
hi, M to the B, my girl. And thank you, JJ. Love you, my girl.
All right, moving on to the next one.
Yes, ma'am.
And even protesting, because some of the suggestions that would become thrown my way would have to do with better ways to protest. I'm like, just go show everyone what you think is the better way to protest. You don't have to sell anyone on anything. Just do it.
Yeah. And we learn too over time. I mean, doing protesting while live streaming is something that's fairly new to, for Scientology. There was maybe, there were some First Amendment auditors who were out there doing that, but really when Street started, it really, took off. But there's still, that's what I loved about it. Were so many different personalities and watching them do this and have fun. And it was just great. Some of it was outright hilarious. And I think though that I feel that fun coming back to this community of like, okay, you can, and you're more than welcome to continue to stay in or you follow whoever you want to follow. And I think at the end of the day, follow whoever you want to follow, but that doesn't mean you have to stop other people or try to get them to do what you're doing. Just do it. If someone doesn't want to do it, they don't want to do it. We don't all want to do the same thing all the time. We all also are not, we have different motivations. Like we have different things going on in our lives. We're also very real people. I will always prioritize my own needs because this is new to me. I've learned I need to do that. So whether it's taking some time off, or if I don't want to get into something because I just find it too mentally draining, I'm not going to get into it, even if you think I should. But nobody, I don't call up 5 people and be like, hey, I'm not going to talk about this, or hey, I'm going to talk about this. It just, we're independent content creators, but we also have this community.
If you hate constantly being swarmed by ads, you need to
Sorry,
download
y'all.
it. It's a free Chrome extension that blocks ads on all your favorite sites. It even blocks ads that you didn't even know were ads. Imagine being able to
Block
scroll and
ads on
stream
YouTube?
completely uninterrupted. And that's not even
I know. That's crazy.
It's a beautiful thing with the amount of people who want to do that with us. And especially, like I said, I enjoy the live streams because the community that brings. And my chats become, I always call them my emotional bubble wrap.
Sorry about the ads, guys. I don't know why I didn't play any ads last time. The last 2 times, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's weird. Good for her, though. She deserves it.
Yeah, sometimes it takes a while for, like, if you get limited ads and then you appeal it, it takes a while for the ads to add on. So maybe that could have been a thing too. Sometimes
Yeah,
YouTube is
more than likely. You're probably right, because I'm sure she gets limited ads a lot doing
and then
this kind of
appeals
content.
it, yeah, has it reviewed, and then they say, okay, really, there's nothing for us to limit, and then that's maybe why now you're seeing a lot more ads. That happens to
Yeah.
me all the time.
But yeah, again, agree with everything they said. I mean, a community is filled with many different characters. Not all of us, like you say, Stepford wives, that would be boring. And everyone, even if you don't agree with, or you don't care for them, everyone brings something to a community as a whole.
And when I first started on YouTube and I was in the anti community, there was a creator, and this was like maybe when I was just starting, like doing content on my channel, that they felt like me and JJ particularly had to run everything by them before we even posted on our channel. And that was very cult like. We were like, what? Well, no, we're individuals. Why should we have to run our ideas, or if we want to talk about something on our channel, we have to run it by you first because it affects you, thinking that you're the face of us. It kind of set the stage that we were like foot soldiers. You know what I mean? It kind of perpetuated the things that people were saying, the negative things. It kind of perpetuated it by you saying we have to run things by you and getting upset if we felt inclined to talk about something on our channel, and then we would get, chastised. You report to the principal's office. That's how it was. Report to the principal's office. You're in trouble right now. You get summoned immediately, me usually, and they're chastising me. Why did you post that? Why did you say? And it was exhausting. And
That's crazy.
I will never allow that again. First of all, I'm grown. I'm grown. I came to YouTube by myself. You know what I mean? Like, you didn't bring me here. You didn't hold my hand. I came here. I met you on my own. You do not own me. And it was a very weird thing because I was so new to YouTube and communities, and, being involved in live chats and all this stuff, that I didn't realize. I mean, well, I did. Internally, I knew it was weird, but I wasn't sure of the online etiquette, so I wasn't sure if this was just how it was online until I got a step back and I was like, yeah, this is not normal. F this. Nobody's gonna tell me what I can talk about on my channel, what I can't talk about, who I can be civil to, respectful to. I can't say hi to people that they disliked. You have a wrench in my channel, you represent me, then take your damn wrench. Like, it's weird. So I get that we're individuals, and I will never allow someone else to tell me what I can talk about, or if they feel some kind of way, that has to be my opinion. I've fallen into that, and I'm always a free thinker, and I allowed those things to kind of hold me hostage, and I will never do that again. I'm very aware of it now. I'm conscious of it now. So,
Yeah, the second video we're going to react to goes into that a lot. Everything you just said, you're going to see a connection soon. Hey, Teresa.
hey,
And
Teresa.
that's crazy. Cindy, the level of entitlement, because I know who you're referring to
Hmm.
in that person, and they Wow. Like when I think of a charlatan,
Yeah. Yep.
that is a perfect example of a charlatan, because a lot of like regular subscribers and supporters, they don't see that side to that person, and this was all going on behind the scenes, and I mean, that was probably the main reason for y'all separating,
It
right?
was.
Yeah.
It was. And people that are still their top supporters still attack me and JJ on a
To
regular
this day.
basis to this day, 4 years later. And we haven't spoken about these people. And anywhere that we're brought up, even places we aren't brought up, they bring us up. They bring us up to
Everywhere.
this day.
If
Yep.
there's an anti Cindy and JJ stream
Yep.
somewhere,
Yep.
I
They're
don't
there.
care if the person has the channel has 0 subscribers, they will find it.
Yep. Any posts about us, they're there like in 2.2 seconds. It's very weird.
And Reddit too.
Yes. 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 It's weird.
It is. It's, yeah, really creepy. 4 years. Let it fucking go. God
Let
almighty.
it go, right? Jesus.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad. I think you may have done, I may have even been on there one stream, like, because everything came to a head. I want to say a little over
Mm-hmm.
a year ago. And I remember one stream where you spoke on what we're
Yep.
speaking on.
Where we
And
finally spoke
that
about it.
was
Yep.
it. Don't ever remember you guys talking about it before that. I don't remember you guys talking about it after that. And they
Nope.
still continue.
And we spoke about it because it continued. It continued every post, everywhere, and we got fed up. Like, okay, enough. They were working, going to other big creators, trying to get them to embarrass me, and it worked for a minute. Like giving the grocery list and all the stuff that they helped me with when I was doing bad to embarrass me, and it worked for a minute. But again, it's about patterns of behavior. I haven't asked for anything since I left Brooklyn, and I had proof that everything I said I was going through, I was going through. If there ever came a moment where I needed to have my husband come up, he would come up and say that everything I've ever said is the truth. So it's about my patterns of behavior. I was doing bad, but I'm not an entitled person. I don't expect people to take care of all of my expenses. I don't on the back end ask people for money, none of that. So it is
Yeah.
what it is.
And that's all that other person does.
Mm-hmm.
All about the grift, about the grift.
Yeah, and see, mm-mm.
Sue, just me responding to you is going to get probably 10 live streams, but you made the right decision there.
You did, and you're a great person. I've known Sue Elliott for a long time since Katie Joy
Well,
disrespected her.
Sue Elliott was the final catalyst to me
Mm-hmm.
completely separating from Katie Joy.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah, I
was
was
in
livid.
that Instagram live. I will never forget it. And I had already like been side-eyeing Katie for a while at that point. And right when
Mm-hmm.
I saw that, I was like, oh hell no.
Yeah, no, that upset me to a level. Ooh, I saw red what she did to Sue Elliott, and Sue Elliott's an amazingly kind person, and she doesn't deserve people to drag her. She has the right to walk away and set boundaries like everyone else does, you know. And thank
Oh,
you,
oh,
Teresa.
trust me, Sue. I know.
Yes,
I
we
know.
know. Trust me. Yes, we get it.
I wish I would have followed your suit, girl, but I quickly learned.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Teresa said, I was friends with you guys and I never knew anything about what exactly happened until you guys spoke on it publicly. You guys never talked about anything that happened to you guys.
Thank you, Teresa. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. I mean, that's awesome. Like, it just shows how genuine you are. You're not talking about it publicly or to even friends behind the scenes. Like, you literally just wanted to leave it
Yeah,
and they won't let you.
because we considered them friends, and not everything has to be made into content. Not everybody has to be dragged behind the scenes, but there's certain people that keep dragging it on, and those people have nothing for ever in this life because they say that we're the worst of the worst. You guys are. You're elderly women. Like, grow up. But it is what it is.
Yeah. All right. I'm glad we didn't get too specific there. I wanted to, girl. I
I
wanted
did
to
too.
drop
I
it.
held back. Yeah,
Look,
I
it's
held
hot.
back. Yeah, I held back. So.
All right. Well, let's just move on. That way we don't.
Yes, ma'am.
Who's the
Yes,
next
ma'am.
one?
Yes.
Take it too
Yeah.
seriously.
Well, it's funny that as the biggest channel, I actually pay attention to my chat the least. Like, isn't there a lesson to be learned there? I don't know. Is there a lesson? I don't know. What's the lesson? I don't know.
I think the lesson is understanding that there's, there's a degree of having to keep your own counsel as a person, but also as a content creator. I look to, my audience for seeing what they want to hear about and what works, but ultimately it's all my decision, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I think letting yourself be too influenced by what, especially with people you don't know on the internet is a really rocky path because, kind of case in point, when you and Nori did that video and you both, it like ended on a good note. And even I was like, oh my gosh, that
We were
was
going to do
hilarious.
more. We were
Yeah.
going to do more.
Yeah, you're going to do more, but then interject, the chat and randoms on the internet and some hateful comments, which were so uncalled for. They usually are. It's like if you, going to write paragraphs of how upset you are with a content creator you've never met, you got to take a step back and go, hey, why are you so emotionally invested in this? And there's a few people where it's the same people that have done it to different people in this community. And I get it. That might just be your thing. You get so invested in it, that you feel you got to try and, again, you're trying to control what somebody else is doing. And that's been an eye opener for me being on YouTube as a content creator, is getting support. The vast majority of people, this doesn't happen. But I had a couple of instances of, I sent you a, I'm not gonna say what it is, but an XYZ, because I'm not trying to out people. And you are not saying what I want you to say. You are still supporting Aaron. I'm like, if I had, $5 for every time I heard, because you're still supporting Aaron. Oh, okay. Who are you?
Right.
Yep.
Who are you?
Yeah.
Who are you?
And not
Cindy, speak on that a second. I'll be right back.
Okay. And not in a belittling way. Like when somebody gives you valid criticism to try to demean them, you're like, who are you anyway? You know what I mean? But I think in the grand scheme of things, like, who are these people, that say the worst things to you? And it's usually people that can hide behind their anonymity. When you put your face out there and your voice out there, you're held a little more accountable than, you know what I mean? So I find it easier for people that have nothing to lose to speak the loudest and the most vulgar. And so for those people, I'm like, who the hell are you? But I would never like put somebody down for just giving me criticism and be like, "Oh, I don't have to listen to you. Who are you?" I think that's really disrespectful, but it's all right. And you're right, JJ. Those mofos didn't get what they wanted. They wanted me to ditch Cindy. Never going to happen, never. One great friend is better than 8 two-faced people. And I appreciate that, JJ. And that's exactly what they wanted, to ditch me, and she refused. Where the hell, Bliss? Chris, it's the Cindy show. It's the selfish show. What the hell, Bliss? She said, F this, I'm out. She'll be back, guys. She'll be back. She better be back, because I can't end the damn stream without her, girl. Where the hell you at, Bliss? Where the hell you at, girl? Bring your ass back. Should we do karaoke? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Bliss, Chris, go. Hi, After Dark. So good to see you. So good to see you. I've been catching a lot of your streams on replay, and I really, really enjoy them. I really do. And Sue is usually up there with you, right? I know I'm not bugging. Sue Elliott. I really enjoy listening to you guys. I rally, do. Sing for us, girl. You crazy. You crazy. All right, I'll sing in my southern accent. Crazy girl. Sorry.
Are you there?
Yes, girl. Where the hell you went, girl? What the hell? That's
I
it.
don't know what happened. I just came back downstairs and it was like, it said, oops, something went wrong. It's
Yeah,
what it
girl,
said
you
on my
left me.
screen.
You left me. I didn't know how to act, girl. I was like, what the hell? Where the Bliss
Uh-oh, are we
Chris
in
go?
trouble?
Yeah. I knew it after dark. I really enjoy your streams. I usually
Oh, hey,
have some.
After Dark.
Yeah, I really enjoy your streams.
I do too, and I'm mad because she went live last night and I missed it because I fell asleep.
I know. I go to sleep early, so I always miss them. I'm like, dang it, but I catch them on the replay.
Well, the night streams used to be my jam.
Hmm.
But now that I'm working like a normal kind of 9 to 5er,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
I am by 7 o'clock, I am done.
I know, girl. I know.
I get it now. I get it now, Cindy. But
Right?
before, so I miss all some of my people. So and
Hmm.
plus I've had YouTube notifications turned off, but I made it
Hmm.
a point to remember what time she was going live last night. And I'm sorry, girl, I fell asleep.
I know, like Raquel, I think she's on West Coast time, so she goes live in the middle of the night, and I've been missing her, and she just started going live, and it makes me so sad. I'm like, damn it, girl, I'm in my fifth dimension of dreams when you go live. But yeah, it makes me sad. I have to catch them on replay, but I do need to comment in their comment section and say, hey, peekaboo, I'm here. Give them some engagement and let them know I was there. But
Yeah.
sometimes I don't comment because I don't want them to get hate just for me being, you know what I mean, watching their streams. You know how that goes. They'll start getting DMs like, hey, why is Selfie allowed to comment in your comment section? Like, what the hell? What
I've
the
struggled.
hell?
I've also struggled with that, Cindy, but
Hmm.
I mean, there's just certain people that I'm going to support.
Yeah.
And I don't ever want to bring hate to anyone, but if you are, I don't know, that's more of something for the creator to make a decision on and deal with. Because if you're just going to hate on someone because of someone else you don't like leaving a comment, I don't think I want to support her like that,
And
if
I
I'm being
just
honest.
and I just feel bad because I already in this, especially in the current climate, you know what I mean? I just don't want to comment in their comment section and then divert the attention from me now to them, and then they say that we're conspiring. You know how it goes.
I
So if
know.
I genuinely support you, I'm gonna, even if I have to support you in silence and hit that like and watch your streams and give you that support without getting you involved in bull crap that we're not even guilty of. I try to do that, but it's unfair to us as viewers and to the content creators. They should be able to have people comment and give them words of encouragement like, hey, I really enjoyed the stream. You know what I mean? And it's sad sometimes, but I pick my battles. I don't want to put innocent people in the line of fire just because I feel like I need to be seen. I can watch silently again. I'll hit the like. You know what I mean? I'll watch the
Oh,
streams
I
and
know.
enjoy them. So,
I'm
yeah.
going to keep it 100 right now. There are two people, creators, that I reached out to behind the scenes, and I kind of said what you just said. Like, I'm still here. I'm
Yeah.
still liking. I just, don't want to bring any heat your way. And I have to
I've done the
say, both
same,
of
Bliss.
those two creators said, "What the fuck are you talking about? I'll see
I
you next
know.
live." Like,
Yeah. I was told the same thing. I said, listen, I'm still subscribed. I still support you. Just don't want to cause you any drama. And they were like, girl, bring your ass in and make some damn comments. So,
yeah. And
oh,
that
thank
was
you,
like,
After
I really
Dark.
appreciated that. And thank you, After Dark.
Yes, thank you so much. That was
See, and
really, really
I
sweet.
wanted to share her live. I saw like in the middle of the day that she was going live last night, and this is a perfect example. I didn't want to because I didn't want to bring any more heat to her.
I know, and it sucks, right? It
It
sucks.
does suck.
And I'm sorry about the After Dark, but I do really, really genuinely enjoy your panels and your channel and your lives. So, yeah.
Yeah, and she was having an open panel last night too. It was like an open panel game night.
Oh, okay, cool. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Um, let me find the next. There's two more, or no, three.
Okay.
157:15. Come on.
Oh, you got it.
All right, here we go. I know him.
You can't rely on the internet to tell you whether you've made a mistake. And anyway.
Yeah. I'm going to grab a couple of these just super chats and questions here.
Okay.
Kim White says, I've been watching Aaron since 2021, 22. I want to see us get back to bringing down this cult. That's why I still watch him. I used to take up for him in other chats. Now I just don't watch those channels. Frustrating.
That's a good point.
Yeah, and I would say definitely it's thank you so much for anybody who, you feel that drive, like you want to defend your favorite creator, but you really, my opinion is you shouldn't. Don't go to battle on my behalf, especially in chats that, aren't really like related to my channel. I think that's where I appreciate it because it's done out of love and care, and people being like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you said that about Natalie." And I appreciate that, and I love you guys for it, but don't do it. Don't put yourself out there like that. That's my opinion.
I also appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't,
Aaron's like, keep doing it. You have to do it more. Flyers.
I just love the bounce back vibe off of both of them because I could look at Aaron's face the whole time she was saying that, and I could just see it in his eyes. He's like, I fucking love it.
Yeah, exactly. And
And I
it's
get
funny
it.
that
And that's where I think, remember the first live, I said he may have a slight narcissism to him. And I think that's where that plays in because and maybe not even that. I think she's, some people are just more empathetic than other people. So she's looking at it through the eyes of, her subs and supporters, not wanting them to get any pushback. And he's looking at it like, hey, this is awesome. I like reading it. It makes me feel good. So, just be validated. Like people have your back. It does feel good. So it's a weird kind of, like you said, pick your battles. You got to kind of walk that line.
and I lean more towards her, her frame of thinking. Like, I don't want people to get in the line of fire for me. And it was hard because, again, there were certain situations where I was like, does no one see it? Does no one see what's happening? Like
Uh-huh.
the the things that are happening, does no one else see it? And then I had to take a step back and put myself in their position. And there were a lot of times where I saw certain things that I was like, whoa, that was bad. And I came to my channel and I talked about it in a general way. Like, we shouldn't be talking about families. We shouldn't be talking about people's kids. You know what I mean? To make my stance known without having to necessarily pick a fight with people, but addressing it in real time. Like, hey, if the shoe fits type shit, like, we shouldn't be doing this. We collectively should not be doing this. So I get it from both sides. Sometimes you're like, does no one else see what's going on? Does no one else care? And then there comes a place where you're like, yeah, you don't want people to jump into the fire for you and then start getting attacked, because not everybody is at the same level and not everybody's mental health can deal with it. And again, I know our mental health is our personal responsibility, but as somebody that live streams, I don't want subscribers to then become targeted when I put my face out there. I put my opinions out there, and they don't have the same power dynamic or the reach. And I'm not saying I'm a big YouTuber, but so I keep that in mind. You know what I mean? Is it more important for me to feel validated that I'm being wronged, or to protect my audience? And for me, it's to protect my audience. And I had to realize, Cindy, you know who you are at the end of the day, and just keep being you, and hopefully other people that are watching will see that that is not who you are. Other people can't tell you who you are. So that's
Yeah,
just how
and
I try to think about it.
that this is something that we've discussed like privately because I went through like a 3-day period where I was just like, fuck these people, not saying nothing. Like I was in my victim phase, okay? And I didn't say anything publicly. It's just something I kind of vented to Cindy and JJ and a couple other people about behind the scenes. But I know, like what you just said is exactly how I feel, even though I probably do lean a little more towards Aaron, where you lean a little more towards Nat. But again, it's hard to see people constantly call out like other stuff that they see that they think's nasty, and then when something's really nasty done to you, all those people are silent.
But I think that's a difference. That's a difference, right? If it's somebody that typically calls things out, like they're super boisterous and all of this, but they're choosing not to call out the wrongs because it's us, I take note of that as well, right? I take note of that. I'm like, okay, I check it off in my little mental Rolodex. Okay, bitch, duly noted. Duly noted, bitch. So I will return the favor. You know what I mean? And that may sound vindictive, but I'm not going to um throw myself in the fire for you when you didn't do it for me either. I'll still make my stance known, like, hey, these things are fundamentally wrong on a whole, but I'm not going to set out to fight your battles, when you don't stand on anything. I've made my
Yeah.
stance known on families and kids, no matter who it's done to. I've stood up for people that I disliked, greatly disliked them. And when a wrong was done, a fundamental wrong, I came on my channel and I spoke about it. So, and it
Yep.
is
And
again,
Jen Barrett, so am I. And it's hard. Like, I mean, I didn't really get it until maybe a couple years ago. And you just kind of, because when you're a true empath, it makes you care what others are thinking. And I stand on, I like, what you think of me is none of my business. So there's just like this boundary in my brain I got to put up for that. And it took a
mhm,
long time to do that.
yep,
It is isolating. Yeah,
it is isolating. Yeah, and Sophie did do that for me, and I'll never forget that. I
she
even
did.
said, Sophie, I won't go on your channel anymore because, one person in particular was complaining about it. And Sophie was like, F them, F them. I want you up there. I've asked you up there. I enjoy having you up there. And that meant a lot to me. That meant a lot to me. You know what I mean? Because I'm not
Yeah,
trying
and
to
that's what I'm
destroy.
saying. When you see people take up for you, like it does still mean a lot, even if you don't want people to put themselves in the line of fire. I think it can be
Mhm.
both.
Yeah, I think it can be both. The people stand up for what they feel is right. Like, I'm going to have whoever I want up here, and especially my friend. I'm not gonna like turn on my friend when they haven't done anything wrong. I could understand if I go on people's panels and I'm offensive and you know what I mean, disrespectful, then I get it. But I'm up there, we're having a conversation that we're both enjoying, and the majority of the audience is enjoying it. For a few stragglers that just take personal issue with me, then choose not to watch that stream. You know what I mean? The
Hmm.
the host has
Yep.
asked me there. She asked me to come on. So that's a you problem. I'm not going to internalize that
Michelle.
anymore, and I did for a minute.
Oh, Michelle, you're funny.
She is funny.
Steven says, yes, people make assumptions, especially when we go quiet, but there's strong emotions flying around. And that's something that she touched on a little bit too in this live about, the more you watch and the more you connect with people, the stronger you're going to feel emotionally.
Yep.
And I was
And
just
and I
talking to someone behind the scenes about that, like, just like they someone else who's been around for like 5+ years, and you get more emotionally invested with certain people, and even if that's people that I don't necessarily like, I mean, I can still empathize and understand where they're coming from.
hmm yeah, and like you said, like people like Steven, for instance, I know her, right? Like we have each other's phone numbers. So I when I don't see people saying things, I don't expect them to. First of all, I don't want them to. So like with people like Steven, I know her, and I know that she's not a confrontational person. It's not in her nature. You know what I mean? So I would never assume that because she isn't going in, I wouldn't want her to go into being a damn comment warrior, going into
Yeah,
people's comment sections defending me. I wouldn't want that. And I don't expect that of people. And especially when you know people, you know that that's not in their nature. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
you get to know people, and I take that into consideration as well. And I know that sometimes you're in a chat and you don't know what they're gonna talk about, and then my name comes up. I'm not like, damn, who was in that chat at that moment? They're all guilty. It happens. I've been put in that position so many times. You're in a chat and you're interacting with the chatters, and then the damn person, the content creators, sometimes they're not content creators, but the people talking, just go on a tangent, and you're like, oh crap, I was already seen in this damn chat. I'm done. It's a wrap. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And I take
Yep.
that into consideration too. It's happened to me, so I understand that.
And Jen and Barrett, you're right. So I sit quiet often, and many may disagree, but it gets way too big, and chat is a small place to voice all opinions. And that is one
Hmm.
of the main reasons that I decided to start doing live streams, because I was
Yep.
sick of having my opinion like stifled. Like I wanted it, I wanted a bigger reach. And it's much easier. Sometimes it's still hard to voice your opinion. I'm speaking to y'all. It comes through to like more people, because in a chat, like not everyone even reads the chat. Some people just listen,
And
so you just have a
things can
bigger
be lost,
reach.
and things can be lost in translation through text. You can't hear
Yes.
the inflection, you can't hear the sarcasm, you can't hear my tone. So I may be being sarcastic, and a lot of times I had to put in parentheses sarcastic, joking, because not everybody will get my sense of humor, and they'll take it as fact, and then they'll screenshot it. Selfie said, she smacked her dog or something, and it was a joke, and I have to put in parentheses joke because then it became fact. Selfie smacked a dog. You know what I mean? Like that, I would never do that. I'm just saying that as an example. But it's so a lot of people started creating channels or live streaming on their channels because it was exhausting trying to type all
Yes.
your opinions in a chat. You get fucking finger cramps. You know what I mean? So I get it. I get it. And that's exactly what happened to you, Bliss. It was like, oh my God, I'm tired of trying to type it in the chat or in comment sections. You know what? I'm just going to come and say it on my damn channel. And that's why you started live streaming.
Yep. And I enjoy it. Like I like
Hmm.
reacting to this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we got two more. They're both short too.
Aloha
Love
to
you
all
too, sweetie.
people down with Scientology and cults. People change. I have an off switch if I don't like context. Easy. I'm a channel hopper. Yeehaw. Yeah, that's right. You can, and I do that myself too. If I find myself like, wow, this is really interfering with my peace, then I'm like, it's too much. Then there's content where it's still drama, but I'm like sitting there with the popcorn, like I can't get this is crazy. Because it is. I've said so many times how someone has not already made a Netflix special. I just do not know. I
We've always talked about that too, how like some of the shit that has happened could totally
Mhm.
be like a documentary.
It's reality TV. It's the new aged reality TV. It really is. These these platforms have become the new form of reality TV. And it can be entertaining, but then a lot of it becomes dark. And that's when you have to know it's time to take a step back. You know what I mean?
Yep. And so, again, sometimes you don't realize that until, you see it, feel it, or it's done to you.
Yep. Yep.
So everyone's in a different spot. All right, this is the last one.
Okay, okay.
Live on video.
yeah.
Okay, so I realize I'm stuck on this and nobody else is, but I just want to
Quite all right.
bring those up. Okay, go ahead.
All right, where am I? Vintage Mama of 3. Thank you for being a member for 8 months. I stopped watching Reese when they got a little too personal and bad vibes from Tommy. And that is the beauty of it too, is you again be self, know what you need to step away from when you need to step away from it. And there's nothing wrong with that. There will also be people that loves that content and gravitate towards it. I think where we all win is where we just don't try and control what each other's doing. Watch it, don't watch it if you want. I think where people get in trouble, even in the chat, is trying to change people's minds about something versus just like it's a little extra. Rochelle says Natalie is wise unbearded woman.
Yeah, I think it needs to be less about changing people's minds and more
Hmm.
about meeting people where they're at and just finding some type of resolution.
Yeah, and just remaining true
You
to
know?
yourself. Yeah, just remain true to
Yeah.
who you are. There's not everybody's gonna agree with you or like your point of view. But if you don't, when you try to be a people pleaser, that's where things get weird because you're constantly changing your views and not even organically. Sometimes you learn more information, your point of view changes. That's natural. But when it's changing instantaneous day to day, that's because you're allowing external forces to influence you. And you have to be true to who you are, stand on your fundamental principles and just continue to be who you are. Not everybody's for everybody, not everybody's going to like you. But again, if you're genuine, you'll have a core set of people that meet you, like you said, meet you where you are and expect better from people. Don't settle for less. Don't tell yourself this person, doxes people all the time. This person can't regulate their emotions. They lash out at people. Don't accept that as normal behavior. Continue to have your standards and your boundaries and still be able to understand that we're all flawed. You know what I mean? Want to see better in everyone the same way you want to see better in yourself. So.
Yep. And JJ, you're right. She said, I will accept whomever's apology that I want. I don't need to ask others. That is very cult-like.
Yeah,
Yes, it
no,
is.
yeah. You're not gonna tell me I can't apologize to people or like no, no, especially people that I was once close with and we only fell out because we supported people on opposite sides. When a big fucking rift happened, some people went with mom and we went with dad, and that was the only reason why we fell out. And then it just became a growing resentment, and we realized, what the hell were we ever mad at in the beginning that caused this? Nothing. And so, of course, I'm going to make amends genuinely and move on from it and be at peace that I've apologized and accepted apologies and genuinely am at peace. Nobody's going to tell me that that's wrong or that I shouldn't have done it. No, I'm sorry. Hell no. You can't
No.
control me.
That's a decision you make for yourself, because sometimes accepting someone's apology, it's not for them, it's for you. It's
Hmm.
for your peace.
Yeah, and it
And
can be.
accepting an apology doesn't mean it erases everything that person has ever done, or that, if they did something to you, it's not valid. Like, it has nothing to do with that. And people need to stop conflicting the two.
And I think people need to understand that it takes two people to go back and forth, right? So if I accept your apology and I also apologize, I'm also accepting the part that I played. You know what I mean? And I think that that's growth, and that's what people should want to do, to resolve things whenever possible. And I'm not going to ever let people make me think that I'm wrong for wanting resolution and not wanting to fight with people unnecessarily. And hey, Sunshine State of Mind, how are you,
Hey,
my girl?
sunshine. I
So,
mean, we touched on that a little bit last week.
hmm
Some people aren't capable of that level of self-reflection and just admitting to your faults and wrongs.
and that's something that's their issue, and you're
Yep.
not going to project that onto us. That's your issue, that you hold grudges for the rest of your life. I don't, and I'm not going to change who I am because you feel that I should. No, because I can sleep very well at night knowing that I'm at peace. Where if I'm bickering with people, it's harder for me to sleep. Nah, F that. Sorry.
Not
It's
even
sad.
just sleep, just all around peace.
Yes, it just makes me lighter. It just makes my heart lighter. And again, there's people that are no's for life, right? I'm not talking about those people. I'm not talking about those people. You know
No.
what I mean? I'm talking about people that like Julie Virgo. She's the only person whose name I will say. I am eternally grateful that we are in a good place because I've never hated her. It was all other people's opinions and anger going back and forth and all of that. She's very young, and I loved Julie. We were close at one time. So we're in a good place now. Nobody's ever gonna tell me that I'm wrong for being in a good place with her. No, I'm sorry. That's
I
not a thing.
agree. And everything you just said, because I mean, me and Julie were never close, but when that rift happened with the same person we were talking about earlier,
Hmm.
where do you stay with mom? Do you go with dad? Like,
Yeah.
I followed Julie because I saw
Hmm.
what went down, and I agreed with her.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was I was a supporter of hers from the jump, for even before she had a channel.
Hmm. And the
So
thing is
yeah.
that we didn't know everything
Mhm.
she knew. You
Mhm.
understand? We weren't privy to things how she was feeling, and of course that wasn't our right to know. But because we didn't have all that information, we saw it differently. And again, it took time to start realizing things on our own and being like, hey, this is kind of, yeah, I get it now. And then by that time, the hurt was so deep that it had turned into anger. And it wasn't as easy to just say, hey, I'm sorry. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? Until there was an opportunity for us to say, hey, I'm sorry. And she came into the lion's den and came up on panel, and I respect her for that. And that's where we were able to say, hey, I'm sorry, and genuinely mean it. And things have only gotten better from there. And I'm genuinely happy about it. So,
I remember that happening, and I was modding the chat, and I
hmm
was like, "Oh fuck." And
yeah,
then it turned out so incredibly opposite and wonderful. Yeah, that was really cool, actually. I'm glad that happened.
me too. Me too.
All right, so I'm going to add to the stage. This is, I want to say Alana Glaser. That's her channel. She did a video. Well, she only had 1.87 subscribers, so she's a smaller channel.
hmm
She did a video titled "What to Do When People Don't Like You," and she's also similar to us. She reminds me a lot of myself, actually.
hmm
You can tell she's an empath, and she had to live life and learn that you can't be a people pleaser.
hmm
So let's
I don't
start.
consider myself an empath. I just think I'm an empathetic person.
Yeah.
Hmm Yeah.
All right, and I will be dropping her link in the description after the
Okay.
live.
Okay. Cool.
All right, I'm gonna try to shoot this again. Hello, everybody. My name's Alana, and the topic of today's video is called "What to Do When People Don't Like You." That's the title of the video. It's been many years of my life so far. I have come across many people, and not all of them have liked me. I've also recently been on YouTube way more in the past few months than ever before. And on YouTube, people will share that they don't like you more freely than in real life. Because of all this experience that I have accumulated in my life, I've experienced more than one person, many people, in fact, who do not like me. And I have had to come up with the perfect solution for myself on how to deal with this. And I believe that the solution I have come to has been working out pretty well for me. It's not flawless, could use a little improvements, but it has been working out. And it's been working out a lot better than what I was doing before, which was people pleasing. That's what I was doing before, if you were wondering. So, oh, it's okay. I'm making a YouTube video. Okay. Okay. So, anyways, um, people pleasing. That is, sorry, I found a seed. People pleasing is a pattern that people get into when they are worried that other people will disapprove of what you're doing. And I just want to throw this out here real quick. People only disapprove of what you're doing when you do not do what they want you to do. When you do something that deviates from what they wanted you to do, they're not happy. So people might call it selfish for you to act one way or another. Really, who's being selfish when they're getting mad at you for not doing what they wanted you to do in the first place?
That's what it really comes down to, too. A lot of the criticism I get, like, you didn't say what I wanted you to say. I feel like that's what it comes down to. And I refuse to give credence to strangers online. It'd be one thing a friend that I've been friends with for a long time in real life came to me with valid criticism, and the approach was respectful.
hmm
But to give the energy and attention I was giving to people I don't know, therefore cannot even respect, I just won't do it anymore.
Yeah. And is it people pleasing when you wanna respect people's opinions. I don't think so. Well, I think again, everything can be a slippery slope, right? Um, and I've always been the kind of person, again, in my personal life and here on YouTube, where I try to validate almost everyone's opinion. Um, and again, their approach means a lot. And if I've had previous interactions with you and you've always been respectful, I tend to in- listen to your opinions more. Where if I've never seen you before, and not to be disrespectful, but if I've never seen you ever, and you come in and you coming in spitting fire at me, I'm going to assume that you're just there to be confrontational. You're more likely trolling me. You were sent there with an agenda, like, to screenshot it and be like, look, I'm a tough guy. Look what I did. And not everybody, you can't please everyone. You can't. There's no way to do that.
Impossible.
And it
And it's
becomes harder.
exhausting.
Right. Because in my personal life too, JJ, I don't have many enemies. Like, that's weird. But I don't have that many people. Of course, there's going to be people that don't like you. Um, and it always stems from some weird shit I won't go into. But it's very rare that people dislike me in my personal life, like, on God. You know, if you had a room full of people that knew me, I have friends from junior high school. I have friends that I've had from grade school, high school. I went to an all-girl high school, and a lot of them watch my channel, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm still friends with them. My ex, his family still loves me. They want me to come to Florida and all this stuff, and we've been broken up for 3 years. People don't dislike me that much. And on YouTube, it happens more often because people feel emboldened to show their ass, so to speak, on YouTube, or on social media, because they're upset at whatever, right? They're upset about their own life or things going on, and they just pick targets to take it out on. And that happens more than we think. That sounds crazy because to people who that's not normal behavior for, it's hard for us to understand that frame of thinking. But guys, it happens. People will just, oh, she's too silly, or she's, whatever, she wears too much makeup, and their own biases and preconceived notions. Now they want to target you and lash out at you for things that you haven't even done to them. You've done nothing really wrong except give opinions that they may not agree with, and that was a crime against humanity. And it's hard to learn to compartmentalize that and not take it so personally when sometimes if it's very personal, it feels like a personal attack. And it may have nothing to do with you. You just may have been the person of the day that they took their anger out on. It's weird, but it happens.
I mean, okay, two things. So just let's correlate that to real life. Me and you are friends in real life. You did something that other people got really angry at, and you're my friend, and it's probably something I didn't agree with. But you were my friend. So I'm just casually walking down the street by myself, and some stranger walks up to me and said, "You're a bad person because Cindy did blah blah blah." That is so fucking weird. That
Yeah,
would
that would
never
never.
happen. You
That would
would
never
never walk
happen.
up to a stranger and be like, "Your makeup looks bad."
Right, right. You have
It's so
no neck. Like,
weird.
what? And that's another thing, guys. Listen, okay? If anybody knows any doctors that do neck transplants, can you please send me the link? I'm looking for somebody with neck extenders, or people want to come at you for things you can't control, right? My makeup skills, if they suck, I can get better at practice. My neck, like, to this day, I don't know about neck transplants. I don't understand, and that's just cruel. And people think it hurts my feelings, as if I don't own a mirror, as if I haven't said, yeah, I got no neck. Some people say I have too much neck. Some people say I have not enough neck, depending on who you speak to. I'm very aware of that. Like, you guys can't hurt my feelings with that because that's something I've acknowledged and made fun of myself. So, oh, she must not own a mirror. I own a mirror. Trust me. I look at myself every day. So, you
I mean,
idiots.
I hate the word, like when adults use the word bully or bullying, but that really is just straight like grade school bullying.
Right. Because
Can't do better.
there's no reason for it, right? If you're talking about things that I've said, then I have to accept that. But you're talking about my neck, something I can't control, I can't change. My behaviors I can change, right? Using foul language, I can change that. But you know what I mean? Like even if your teeth are messed up, you can work on that, you can go to a dentist. To this day, I don't know about any doctors that can do anything about necks. Maybe a chiropractor could try to fucking extend my neck. I don't know if that's possible.
It's just ridiculous though. And the other, you touched on this a little bit in the beginning. You
Mhm.
said, is there, what'd you say, a difference between
Being a
people
people pleaser.
pleasing, like validating people's opinions
Mhm.
and respecting people's opinions? I think they're all, I mean, I guess validating and people pleasing is kind of the same, because if I'm going to validate your opinion, it's more than likely I agree with your opinion. But I
Yeah.
do think more so than not, you can still not agree with someone's opinion, but you can still respect it. And
Oh,
some
definitely.
people just don't have that in them. Like, if you don't agree with them wholeheartedly, you are the worst of the worst. Like, no,
Yep.
no.
Some people are just so, and that always makes me think of entitlement. People have this sense of entitlement and that you're obligated to agree with them. And if you don't, somehow you're demeaning or invalidating their feelings. And I think that people can't distinguish between the two. I don't have to agree with what you say, but if we can have a respectful back and forth about it and we both just agree, okay, that's your opinion, this is mine, we don't have to agree. I can see where you're coming from and your perspective, and I hope you can see mine, and we both leave with a broader understanding on a whole. But some people, again, like you said, are incapable of that. It's their way or the highway. And people like that, I just don't flow with. I like, again, free thinkers, people that can respect people's opinions, even if they're not the same opinion.
Exactly. And we can just, I mean, I enjoy both. I've had Shyla as a perfect example of, we had a back and forth behind the scenes, and at the end of it, both of us, like at the same time, were like, oh my God, like this was so nice and respectful, and this,
Mhm.
I haven't been able to, and it was political too. I haven't
Right.
been able to do this with anyone in years. And
Mhm.
I do like having like a back and forth conversation, but sometimes you can just agree to disagree and drop it. Like, it
Yes.
doesn't have to take over your entire being and make you hate this person because of this one thing. Like, I don't hate anyone who's friendly or supports anyone else. Do you? And just
I
stay the
don't
fuck
either.
out of, like JJ. She said, I'm an introvert that often misunderstands other introverts. So I do understand some not being sure of or not caring for me. It's the hate and going into my real life that I don't understand. And I don't think anyone should understand that,
No.
because
Or
it shouldn't be
normalize that.
happening.
It shouldn't be normalized, no matter who it's done to. Being intrusive and trying to destroy someone's personal life because you don't like their opinions online should never be normalized under any circumstances. And again, we all have biases. Sometimes we allow our dislike to allow us to be in spaces where things are said that when it hits our ear, it stings. We're like, ooh, that was terrible. You know what I mean? But we're like, hey, F that B. And that's when you have to pull yourself up and be like, hey, no, it doesn't matter that it's said about that B word. It's what was said is not okay, no matter who it's said to. And when you pull yourself up, and if you allowed it for a certain amount of time, but you finally realize this is wrong and removed yourself, people don't allow for that either. For,
No.
for changed behavior, they just want to hold it over your head for the rest of your life when I've shown changed behavior. I've acknowledged my bias. I've acknowledged it. I've apologized for it. And I've shown you that I'm not allowing it anymore. So, again, if you want to hold my baggage, you want to hold my trash and smell like garbage all day, that's you. I've relinquished that. I've let it go. You know what I mean?
And it's That, but when that is coupled with the fact that, you know, those people hanging that over our heads are also friendly and supportive of other people who have done equally, if not worse shit, that's where the hypocrisy comes in for me, and I will never understand that,
No,
ever.
I think it's worse than hypocrisy. I think hypocrisy is we're all hypocrites. All human beings are hypocrites, okay?
It's a hypocrisy coupled with the entitlement.
And what it is that it's you have no self-awareness. You're putting yourself on a moral pedestal that you don't deserve to be on, while you're saying that we act like moral superiors when we don't. Because when you acknowledge your wrongdoing, that takes humility. That
It
takes humility
does.
to say, I messed up, I was wrong, and apologize. That takes self-awareness. Those are all things that don't come from somebody who thinks that they're a moral authority. There's somebody who knows that they're flawed, and they can't again understand the difference, because what they are accusing us of or holding over our head, they are currently, presently doing. So to me, that's way worse than hypocrisy. You're fraud. You're a fraud. You're not even a hypocrite. You're a fraud. You're a fake. You're a phony. At least we're real. We know our character flaws, and we're working on them. But you won't even acknowledge them. That makes the problem even worse, in
It
my
makes it
opinion.
even worse that it's a pretty big group of people like that, and none of, like, not one of them can recognize that.
No,
Uh,
because if one of them pulls them all up on it, now they're persona non grata. Oh, bitch, you gotta go. You
yeah,
you went against the agenda.
yeah, you're right. And After Dark says sometimes agreeing to disagree is for the best. And you're right. And I feel like that sometimes you got to meet people where they're at. Some
Yes.
people can have the back and forth conversation respectfully and let it go. Some people do not want to engage in the back and forth and would rather just drop it, agree to disagree, and move on.
Yep. I'm that kind of person. I'll
Yeah,
just be like, hey, we'll just agree to disagree, and I can move on and not have any resentment towards you, you know?
yeah. All right.
They're calling you names, they're belittling you, they're telling you to stop chasing your dreams, blah, blah, blah. Why? Why are they doing all that? Because you're not doing what they wanted you to do. That is one of the main reasons why people don't like you. Now, what people want you to do could fall under a huge umbrella. I don't know if it's important to mention each and every reason why, because I probably couldn't even come up with every single reason why somebody might not like somebody else. But here's a list that I can just come up with off the top of my head. They're jealous. They're insecure. They're miserable. They want you to do something else. They want you to do things that benefit them. They want you to do things that benefit them, their friends, their family, people like that. They don't like that you're outside societal constructs and you're outside this box that they had in their mind of how a person should act. And here you are being you. Anyways, there's a huge, huge long list of reasons why people could not like you. You could walk up and have a smile on your face and be like, hi, how's it going? And they hate you because you're happy. It could be the other way around. You could be frowning. You could be so freaking miserable. You could be like Eeyore. And they don't like you because you're like Eeyore. They might not like you because you don't have much money. They might not like you because you're rich. They might not like you because they think you're stupid. They might not like you because they think you're too smart. The list could go on and on and on and on and on and on and on. They might not like you because they think you're too pretty. They might not like you because they think you're not pretty enough. It's endless. Like, the reasons on why somebody could not like you is endless. I'm not trying to be a downer with this video. I'm going somewhere, but I do want to shift gears for just a second and get out of this mindset of people not liking us because of all these reasons. And let's just stop, because I want to ask you a question, a serious question. You don't have to answer, but feel free to answer in the comments if you would like. But with however many years that you've lived, have you ever come across a person and for one reason or another, you have personally not liked them? I'm going to assume the answer is yes. Whoa, almost dropped my phone. I'm going to assume that the answer is yes. Sorry, my lip is bleeding. It's very dry. Arizona. Anyways, I'm gonna assume the answer is yes, and I can even tell you, I'll be honest.
I just love how down to earth she is. There's no professionalism to the, and not to say that I don't like when people have a great, amazing setup and, put like effort into it or whatever, but I just really relate to her a lot.
Yeah. And I think
And
she
she's
made so
right.
many great
Hey,
points.
Hardwire.
Yeah, she basically said some people would just like you, just not to like you. It doesn't matter which side you're on. And a lot of people tend to try to insult you when they have really no valid reason. When you ask them, okay, what do you dislike, like about Selfie? What do you dislike? What makes you dislike her so much? And I really haven't committed a crime that egregious, and that's when they resort to the insults. I'm a crackhead. I'm right, all these things. I'm ugly. I need a mirror. All these things. I've never come here and said I was a model. I've never come here and said I was beautiful. I don't struggle with self-esteem. I've never had anybody in my personal life ever tell me I was unattractive. I've never had problem getting a date ever, ever. And that's not me like embellishing or bragging. I've never had problems getting a date with a male or a female. I'm bisexual. Never. So what people on the internet that don't show themselves um want to say about my looks, sometimes it bothered me because I'm like, why is that their go-to? It was recently said that I was talking about somebody's looks. What I was saying was that Lori Jones, or what I had said was, she was talking about villain, your favorite villain, and she was saying that your favorite villain looks like a man. She looks like a man and nobody wants her. And I said, Lori Jones should not be talking about somebody's looks. So how that in turn talks to me shitting on somebody's looks when I was actually saying she was the one that was doing that, and I was saying she shouldn't be talking. And stating facts that she looks much older than she does is a fact. She looks much older than she is. When I first saw her, I thought she was in her 60s. So people want to be upset because I'm talking about somebody who, again, is doing harmful things. She is. She scams people. She misuses resources. She lies about her income. She's all the things she's done to her children, still doing, getting a PayPal card under her daughter's name that is a minor. You can't even get a PayPal card until you're 18 years and older, which means it's a fraudulent PayPal. All these things that she's doing that are harmful that she puts on the internet. Again, I'm not spying into her life. She's talking about people's looks all the time, and so I pointed out that this woman shouldn't be talking about people's looks, and somehow it, it it's made onto me, and it's just frustrating. You know, beauty is, I don't know what people, everybody's idea of beauty is different, right? Some people have preferences. Some people like blonde people. Some people like people with blue eyes. Some people like brunettes. Some people like olive skinned people. So just because I may not be your idea of beauty doesn't mean that there's not others that find me attractive, because they
Of
do.
course.
And I think
And
that
you
with
also got to
everyone,
consider the sources.
right?
I
It's just,
mean, sometimes pot meet kettle. Like, really? Really?
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
now again, Cindy, I will go back to just being called fugly and fat and a slub. Go ahead. I'll take the, if as long as you stay the fuck away from my real life, I don't care.
yeah,
Do
yeah,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
Yeah, yeah. Say I have no neck, you know. But the racism and all of that, like
Oh
that's
God,
unacceptable, right?
that's sick.
My my culture has nothing to do with why you dislike me. So going there doesn't is you're not hurting me. You're actually showing that you're a racist. Always have been, always will be, if that's your go-to. You know what I mean? So again, I not everybody's gonna like everybody. I don't expect everybody to like me. I don't want everybody to like me. That would be weird because there's no way. But anyway, I don't even know why I went on a tangent. I guess it was bothering me for a minute, so I need to speak about it. But thank you guys.
JJ.
I know, girl. The biggest
Come
bullies
on.
ever. And you know what? The majority doesn't feel that way. And so that's what I think about. It's the people that are screaming the injustices that we're doing while they are the worst degenerates on YouTube. So I keep that in mind too. These are degenerates, and I'm not even think that is the perfect word for them. They're degenerates in every sense of the word, and they're trying to tell you about somebody else's morals when they have no morals. Like it's that makes me laugh. That
No
makes me laugh.
morals, no integrity. They stand for nothing.
No honesty. They're
Very,
liars,
yeah,
fabricators.
insecure,
Yes,
envious.
overweight. All the things that they want to talk
Yeah,
about other people being. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
it is. You guys, it is. It's that's kind of where I'm at. Like if it could just stay to that kind of
Yeah.
criticism,
Yeah. Yeah.
I'd be
Mm-hmm.
fine.
Me too. Me too. Keep it up.
Yeah. All right.
Honest and vulnerable with you guys. There's been people who I've come into contact with, and I did not like them. They were either rude, they were hurtful. One woman said she wanted to cut off all my hair. Don't know. Well, she said she wanted to cut off all my hair so that she could wear it herself. It sounded like the word sounded like a compliment, but if you heard it in person,
What?
like it did not sound like a compliment.
That's not a
That
compliment.
sounds crazy.
Yeah, that sounds like some Buffalo Bill and Silence of the Lambs type shit. That is not a compliment. And sometimes she's right.
Wow.
Sometimes people will word things so that if somebody from the outside looks at it, it doesn't look as bad as it's meant. You know what I mean? Their intent behind it. People are very clever and will be ambiguous with their wording, and it's crazy, but that is not a compliment, girl. I want to cut your
Yeah, and if
hair.
you don't know her or you don't know the person or the people and you're just viewing it as an outsider, you're not going to catch that.
Right,
You know
because
what I
a
mean?
normal
And hey,
person,
Sassy.
hey, sassy nerd girl, a normal person, sorry, a typical, would say, your hair's so beautiful. You know, I would love to have, not that I'm going to cut your hair off, because, first of all, that's a crime, right? You cut somebody's hair against their will. That is a crime. That's assault. So you want to cut my hair off and put it on your head. That is not, you're not well. You know what I mean? The wording right
That's
there
not,
tells you,
no. And I
no.
know JJ has dealt with the virtual of that. Some people, I think, want to wear her fucking skin. But again, this is so grade school. This happened to me in like ninth grade. A
Uh-huh.
girl put gum in my hair,
Oh my
and I
God, girl,
didn't
me
know
too.
it. I didn't realize it until I got off the bus later that day. And shit went down the next day. That's all I'm going to say. And
Oh, I
she
know it
never
did.
fucked with me again.
Yep, I
You
had
should
gum
you
put in
should
my
do
hair
that
too.
with grown adults on the internet though. Or she's made it seem like that was done to her in person. Like that person's a
Hmm.
psychopath. Stay the fuck away from
Yeah,
me.
that's crazy. And thank God that the adults around me knew how to take out gum without cutting my hair. They do that hoping that they'll have to cut your hair off. You know what I mean? Thank God they were able to put oil and get the gum out of my hair. Man, listen. But yeah, that's crazy.
And Jen and Barrett, you're right. I mean,
Yep.
they
Yep.
what's happening is they are attacking your most like vulnerable like
Hmm.
anything that they can hit you in the gut emotionally with, and there's no boundary, there's nothing
No.
they won't say, nothing they won't do, no
Nothing
line to
sacred to
cross
them.
because the line is fucking invisible. Like they are going to try to hit you where it hurts every time, and that's the main goal.
Yep. Nothing sacred to them. And that tells you, because I couldn't say that. I couldn't talk about somebody's
No,
children. I couldn't because
no.
my children are sacred to me. So if I feel that way about my children, I would never say that about somebody else's children. I couldn't. I couldn't. And that's something that no matter what, I couldn't do. You know, I could come at you hard, like spit venom, make you want to come to Jersey and beat my ass. But it will never be at the expense of talking about your children or your deceased parents or your elderly parents. Never. never, because those things are sacred to me, and they will remain sacred to me. I'm not going to lose that because of the internet. There's no way. I'll leave the internet first.
I mean, I'm gonna get kind of raw for a second. And I know this is stuff that you know, but I've really struggled with holding on to my integrity these past few months and my beliefs and morals. I mean, people think I don't have stuff that I could release or docs or, and the reason they continue to do it is because they know I'm that kind of person.
And they've
And
done that to me too.
I am more than likely, I'll say it like that, not going to do stuff like that back, because I wouldn't be able to sit with myself, because a lot of times kids are involved, and no matter what nasty move you make, it can involve people's kids, and I can't sleep at night with even thinking that that was possible. But they take advantage of that.
Yes, they have, because that's happened to me and JJ for years. People thinking that because we just ignored and ignored and ignored and ignored and didn't come back at them and put, the truth out there and show things. And I've gotten to the point where I've done it once and it was like Macaulay Culkin. Oh, Selfie did what? Bitch, you dared me. You demanded I do. So yeah, I did it. Like and I don't care. I don't feel bad about that, bitch, at all. But when it comes to people's kids, I've struggled too, Bliss. Trust me, because I've wanted to be like, oh, this is enough. This is enough. But I held on. I held on, and I'm glad I did.
I
But
hope.
I mean,
I'm glad I did too, and I hope that I can continue. That's what I'll say.
Yeah, exactly.
People have said some pretty weird things to me, and I'm going to be quite honest. I have not liked everybody I have come into contact with. Some people were mean. Some people stole stuff from me. Some people lied. Some people cheated. Some people stole from me when I gave them a roof over their head. I'm just saying. However, there's been people I did not like. And this ties into this video because when you realize how normal and natural it is to not like every single person, you won't take it so personally and so to heart when somebody doesn't like you. And that's the problem I struggled with. When I ever met somebody and they didn't like me, I took it to heart. It hurt me in my heart. I was like, why don't you like me? Why? You're my boss. Like, if you don't like me, I might get fired and I could lose my job. So I need you to like me. And turns out, I've had a couple bosses. I've had quite a few bosses. So it's natural to want your boss to like you. But I've had some bosses before where they were going through marriage problems. They were on the brink of divorce. I've had bosses who kind of seemed like they didn't like anybody. Like all the people under them, they didn't like any of them. Not a single one of them. And I was like, nobody? But I was included. I was like, I could feel that I wasn't liked and my coworker wasn't liked, my other coworker wasn't liked. There's been times in my life where I felt like other people did not like me. One reason or another. I've had family members not like me for my political opinions and my political beliefs and who I'm voting for this year. It's endless, you guys. And the sooner you can deal with this problem, the sooner you can tackle this problem head on, like a bull, like a Taurus, because I'm part Taurus, you guys. But anyways, the sooner you tackle this problem, the more peaceful life is going to be. And my life is way more peaceful now. So I'd like to.
And that's the connection. That's what it comes down to, protecting your peace. That's what it's all about. And once you realize that and you put that above all else, it does make it much easier.
Yep. And there's two sides to every coin. I once had a boss that liked me too much. So, be careful what you wish for. So, because that can be very bad too when you have a boss sexually harassing you every day for 3 years, So, and I was her too. Like, why? When I first started on YouTube.
Hey, money swipers.
Hey, money swipers, beautiful girl. I was
like, oh, definitely. We've all been in the why. Yeah.
And I had to come to terms with sometimes there is no why. There is no why. I've said that so many times. There is no why sometimes.
Or sometimes
And
there is, Cindy, and we, like she just said, like he was going through marriage issues, brink
yes.
of divorce. Like you don't always know what people are going through. And I'm going to give a perfect example here from my real life. Because I've been at my job almost 10 years. I had a manager in the beginning who was a closeted alcoholic. And no one knew. And me and him butt heads. Like I remember one time he told me to leave, and I just laughed in his face and continued to do my job. But
Right.
it came out because he ended up getting fired because
wow.
related to alcohol issues.
Mhm.
And then ended up getting hired back like 2.5 years later. And now he is one of my favorite people. We get along so well. So people do grow, learn, and change. It can happen, but you are not, especially online, you have no idea what someone's going through. And that's where you have to meet people where they're at sometimes.
Yeah, we're not privy, and you're right. It, there may be whys, but we may not know the whys, and we may never know the whys, right? Somebody's struggling with something, and maybe something about me reminds them about something about themselves that they haven't come to terms with, or somebody in their personal life. You know what I mean? Our personal experiences shape our dislikes and our likes of people, and that may be something I'll never know, and I have to understand that and accept that as well. And that was hard to accept, never knowing why or understanding why, and being okay with that. That was hard for me. It was extremely hard for me.
Yeah, you can rack your brain trying to wonder why, figured out why this person did this, why this person thinks this way. It
Hmm.
it doesn't the why doesn't
Doesn't
matter
matter.
in
It
the
doesn't
end.
matter.
It
No,
really doesn't.
it's not going to change it. It's unless the person is willing to acknowledge the why and change it. Oh shit, Bliss, what the hell, girl? Girl, what the hell? She left me again. She turning into JJ. What the fuck? Lord of mercy. There's the universe. It's the universe. That's when the universe tells me, shut the hell up, bitch. Lord of mercy. All right, guys, I need suggestions for karaoke, y'all. Oh my God. And definitely my laugh. Some people hate my damn laugh. I don't know why. I can't control that. Well, I could try. I can't know. I can't I can't change my laugh. I can't have a cute little girl laugh. I don't listen. It's not me. I know, JJ. There you go, Bliss. What the hell, girl? Bliss Chris. Psst.
Hello, hello. Psst.
Okay, there you go.
So yeah, my son switched my mouse on my laptop and he gave me the fuck you button mouse. I didn't even realize that till just now.
That fuck you button gets you every time, girl. Every time. Oh,
It
thank you, Money
does.
Swipers.
And now I
Thank
need
you
to
so much.
find what he did with my regular 2 button with the rolly thing in the middle mouse.
Look, yeah,
Anyway,
because that
that's
mouse
okay
hates
though,
you.
because I was actually gonna try to end it here. We
Okay,
didn't make it halfway. We can take this
okay.
to next week, and hopefully, I can
Sounds
find
good.
something else to add.
Yeah, sounds good, girl. It's the
Yeah,
universe. It's the universe, girl. They're like, nah, bitch.
yeah.
Selfie needs to shut the hell up.
No, and I'm hungry too. I need lunch.
Yeah, oh, me too. I need to eat. Oh, I'm sorry, Money. We're here every Tuesday, Money Swipers. Every Tuesday from 10:30 to 10:45, you will catch me and Bliss Chris here. Even when she's not up to it, I gotta find something goofy to do and make her come on, girl. You gotta do it.
Yeah, I won't say what was said, but when we first hopped into StreamYard before we went live, I don't know, like sometimes I'm not a planner for one. and I
Right.
have to be in the mood to like do whatever. And I just really wasn't feeling it, but I'm also not gonna not do something I said I was gonna do. So Cindy came in and she didn't even know any of that, and she said the funniest thing that just made me crack up, and it changed my whole mood around, and I was excited to go live then.
I'm gonna tell you guys what I said, but Money Swipers also has a great channel. JJ, if you could just
Yes.
drop her link. I love her channel. I love listening to her live. She cracks me up. But so okay, because people gonna misconstrue this, but my earbuds, right? I called them. Okay, so I came in and I was like, when I start the stream, I have to reconnect my ear pods so I won't be able to hear Bliss. So I ran to get my ear pods and I said, hold on. And I called them my tampons. That's what I called them in my ear. And it caught her off guard. She was like, wait, did you just call them your tampon? Like, yeah, they plug up my ears, listen, I'm in menopause, so that's the only way I get to use any tampons nowadays.
That's why I'm like, when's the last time you even had contact with the
5 years ago, girl. 5 years ago. Yeah, so I use them on my damn ears. Thank you guys. Thank you. Damn, all three of y'all simultaneously. Bang, patang, patang, tang. Thank you guys.
Hey, you know what? That's that professionalism you'll get on
I'm
this channel.
telling you,
No, we
guys
just
will
want to
really
support
enjoy
good
her.
people. I'm all about
She,
dropping people's links. Seriously.
she has a great channel. I really enjoy her channel a lot. She's a very, very sweet, funny person. So I really enjoy her. But
Yeah.
that's what I said, guys. And my Bliss Chris, she was cracking up. So
It made my day. Like seriously, you flipped. It's amazing how something so little and stupid can
right?
change your whole mood, you know?
Yeah.
But thank you guys for coming.
Yes,
Please
and
make
thank you,
sure go
Bliss.
sub to Money Swipers. I hope you guys sub to After Dark. And
Yes.
also, again, come back, the description, sub to Alana. She's amazing. And also sub to Natalie. Her channel's Life After a Cult, and that will also be in the description.
Yes. And I love you, Bliss, and thank you for having me.
Love you too, girl. I will see you guys next Tuesday. I hope everyone has a good day and a good week.
Yes. Bye, guys.
See ya.